Good day, everyone. Long time no see. Martin Comtois here, MC Starman from the Eastern Seaboard, les îles de la Madeleine in the Gulf of St. Lawrence. It's been a while since I've seen you. This is about 3 weeks since I've last put out a video, and this is on the Gemini New Moon coming up in a few days. So made it successfully on my journey. I'm living here in this lovely little house with my mother. I will be sharing some videos of where we're living now, but a major transition has happened, and then I'm hoping to get back going into doing some videos, and this is the first one. And so, with no further ado, here is our video on the Gemini New Moon. So the Gemini New Moon comes on Thursday, June 6, 2024. On the Pacific coast, 5:38 in the morning, right around sunrise, and on the West Coast, actually this is maritime time, so that's 4 hours maritime. Time is 9:38 in the morning. Educating the feeling function. Educating the feeling function, what does that mean? Well, we'll get into that. It's, of course, a Jungian term, and the feeling function, learning how to feel. So the Gemini New Moon, I did the I Ching reading yesterday, was the preponderance of the small. So I'll share that with you. And some of the interesting features in this new moon is the Sun, Moon, Venus conjunction at the time of the new moon. They're all in exact conjunction. You see that over here. So we have Sun, Moon, and Venus in triple conjunction in Gemini. Gemini is ruled by Mercury, and we also have a Mercury Jupiter conjunction. So we have 5 planets in Gemini, all ruled by Mercury. So that is the Gemini Stellium, and trying to do too much. This is a common problem in our times. And so, really, a big dose of Gemini here and a big dose of, month of June and Mercury. And so, we're going to flesh all of that out. The Triad of Transformation and the Neptune Ingress into Aries. We have the Mercury Jupiter conjunction. And then we have the Mars Chiron conjunction we need to talk about, and then that Gemini stellium. So, all very fascinating. And I have the table back, which is really nice to be working with the table again. First time in a while. And so, here, take a look at that. So, we got the Gemini. And so, we have Mercury here and Jupiter in conjunction. So that's emancipating Jupiter and Mercury, social, information gathering, curious, outgoing Gemini, and Mercury, Jupiter, and Gemini. So really, um, uh, uh, communicative and very engaged, intellectually curious. Quite also fast moving pace, huh? Mercury, Jupiter, Gemini, let's go. So it's fast. And then we have that sun and moon, and then you can't see it. Really, technically, the moon is here, closer to the earth, right? And then Venus is right in between. So we have a Venus, moon, sun triple conjunction. So this is a very key time. From now on, in the next few weeks, we're going to see Venus setting with the sun. And so this is the beginning of the Fortuna phase of Venus, where she becomes really seen. So Venus has been the morning star for a long time, and now Venus is becoming the evening star, and she's going to be at her brightest. So now we're going to be seeing Venus setting with the sun in the evening, starting in a couple of weeks here, probably by the full moon and by the solstice. So that will be very interesting time to witness, because our feeling function, Venus, our love capacity, is becoming uh, more visible, more conscious. So we know, or we can affirm our needs more clearly. With the Sun Venus conjunction, Venus is the expression of the solar creativity. So now Venus Sun conjunction with the moon, very beautiful, important time. And then also Mercury is going to be doing a conjunction with the sun. And then also Mercury will be making a conjunction with Venus. And we've had Venus Jupiter and Venus and Mercury Jupiter. And then everything's been triggered by Uranus if you've been following our video. So this is a quite significant time. So for those of you who don't know about the I Ching, the I Ching is a book of Chinese, ancient Chinese wisdom. It's over 5,000 years old. And I was asking, some instructions, some guidance. And so I got the hexagram, preponderance of the small. And so preponderance of the small, what does that mean? These are not times where we can express big success really rapidly. We're kind of overwhelmed, and we have so much to deal with that little steps, little successes, preponderance of the small, paying attention to what is small, to making small successes. Exceptional modesty and conscientiousness are sure to be rewarded with success. Exceptional modesty and conscientiousness are sure to be rewarded with success. And so that's really important, to stay small and to be modest and conscientious about the work. We must understand the demands of the times in order to find the necessary offset for its deficiencies and damages. Deficiencies and damages in our times, this is the struggle that we're experiencing. There's a lot lacking, and we're seeking to understand what is going on in the times. And here the I Ching is saying success is in the small things. In this lies the importance of the message that one should not strive after lofty things, but hold to lowly things. The image of it is the thunder on the mountain is different than from thunder on the plain. In the mountains, thunder seems much nearer outside the mountains. It is less also audible, but than the thunder in an ordinary storm. Thus, the superior man derives an imperative from this image. He must always fix his eyes more closely and more directly on duty than does the ordinary man, even though this might make his behavior seem petty to the outside world. He is exceptionally conscientious in his action. The essential significance of this attitude lies in the fact that in external matters, he is on the side of the lowly. So, these are very challenging times. We're dealing with the Triad of Transformation, which is back in Orb. The Triad of Transformation, for those who are tuning in for the first time, is the Pluto coming into Aquarius, Neptune coming into Aries, and soon Uranus coming into Gemini, forming a trine and two sextile. I'll show it to you on the chart here. So you have it here. You have Neptune, Pluto, Uranus in this triad of transformation. So it got back into alignment, exact alignment, um, almost exact alignment with the eclipses that we had earlier this spring. And so that triggered this collective set of energy, which we'll be dealing with for the next 2 years. I have a video series on the Triad of Transformation, and this is really setting the tone for the next 2 or 3 years. And, if we are tuned in to what's going on, this is a pretty strong time of crisis. And this is the symbolic representation of this crisis with the three outer planets, most distant planets, forming this triad of transformation. So with this triad of transformation coming back into orb and this powerful alignment with 5 planets in Gemini, then our need to communicate and gather information and to educate ourselves. Mercury and Jupiter, teachers, and Venus, it's the feeling function, and then the sun and the moon are the king and the queen, or the masculine or the feminine side of our personality. So we're really seeking to understand, to gain guidance and insight into what this triad of transformation means to all of us in terms of the collective changes that are flowing. And we've all been really struggling with finding our place in that, and we will continue to do so as this triad of transformation intensifies. 2025 and 2026, the alignments will be exact in the summer, both of 2025 and 2026. More on that. And again, if you're interested in the subject, I will put a link to the video series on the Triad of Transformation. And I have a couple of videos that I will be adding to that. One on Neptune coming into Aries, and then another one on the Uranus-Pluto cycle, which is very interesting. So, blah, 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 blah. I found it interesting. Sometimes we look at events astrologically and we understand them better after they happened. And so one thing that was really interesting for me is this alignment of the conjunction of Mars and Chiron over here in Aries. And I was impressed with the fact that so many of us in our motor skills, there were injuries, Chiron manifesting during the Chiron-Mars conjunction. Personally, I had car troubles and I had a bad hip that really slowed me down. I had friends who had shoulder injuries and illnesses, all representing the ability to go. Mars in Aries is let's go, let's do something. And then Chiron is the wounding, the wounding that keeps us. So that Mars-Chiron conjunction in injuries to the limbs and to our ability to work and to move around. So that's that Mars Chiron, and then that's gladly moving out of orb. And after the new moon here, Mars will move into Taurus, and then our ability to get things done will come to a much more earthy pace. And that Chiron Mars conjunction has been in square to Pluto. So then the wounded healer Chiron, and then the ancestral connection and the connection with the ancestors and the world of the dead and our ancestral gifts and wounding, that's been quite prominent, and it forms a little triangle and forms a unity with the Triad of Transformation. So then we're overwhelmed by collective powers that make us feel wounded, and we are struggling with our own woundedness through them. Does that make sense to you? And I'm curious to know how you felt that. Again, that Mars Chiron, but then this really super communicative stellium in Gemini and the Venus, Sun, Moon. So this is still to come. This is next Thursday. And then we're going to follow also the Mercury Venus conjunction and Jupiter. So we did a little bit of I Ching, and then um, my friend, hello. It's always like that. Now your brain just doesn't work when you need it to. Well, it doesn't always work that way, but um, my friend reminded me to keep doing tarot cards. I hope I'm going to remember her name. Um, my herbalist friend in the Duncan area. You know who you are. And sorry, I can't remember your name. Okay, we got the Emperor. Oh, the Emperor. The Emperor as a golden ball of individuation. And he has an Ankh uh, symbol of Osiris and Sydney, that's her name, Sydney Rumor. Hey, Sydney, we're back. And so the Emperor is a very serious personality. It's number 4 in the Great Arcana, and then he's got the golden ball, mountains on both sides, and he's got Aries, Rams, the Mars in Aries we've been talking about, the going. It's very serious, got the crown. Again, the Rams, so there's 4 Rams, so he's a very patriarchal gentleman, and he upholds the law of the sacred feminine, and then the crystal ball, the golden ball, the process of individuation. So there's a certain seriousness. We're coming to the summer solstice, which is a very important part of the year. And I'm going to do a video just on the summer solstice and look at the next 6 months, do some predictive astrology as to what to expect for the next 6 months while the sun now starts its path towards the shortest days. We're going to reach the longest day, and then the longest day, then the ebb of the slow downhill path to the winter solstice begins, where the days start becoming shorter again. That's a tremendously important um, astrological time, and so we'll get into that. And so there's a seriousness to that. And right on the solstice, right after the solstice, we're going to have a Capricorn full moon, which really reminds us of this emperor. So, blah, 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 blah. Please, if you have any comments or questions, and if you can share this video with others, and of course, if you can subscribe to our channel, all of those things help. And now that I'm getting settled again, slowly but surely, you will see more videos of me. So sorry for the break, but as you know, I've been on the road for the last 2 months, from moving from Vancouver Island to Les Îles de la Madeleine. And that's been full on transformation. And it's been about making small steps, little steps, although It's very easy with these times to try to take on too much because we're facing so much. So then this preponderance of the small, look for success in the small things and don't drive yourself too crazy with trying to do too much because this is not a time. This is a time more of rain, of harvesting, not harvesting, but finishing of the projects you've already started. Get your slate clean because then the summer solstice will bring a change of energy and a change of focus, a change of insight, possibly a change of direction as you harvest what you've been sowing for the last 6 months. So that's a very important time, blah, 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 blah. So in the small success steps, we're going to go to the alchemical opportunities in these times. So alchemical opportunities. So May 29th. So today is the 3rd of June. So a few days ago, that Mars Chiron conjunction, and we talked about that, that wounded Mars conjunct Chiron. So, how was that for you? And leading up to Mars Chiron, and then we have, earlier we had a Mercury conjunction with Chiron, we had a Venus conjunction with Chiron, we had a solar sun conjunction with Chiron, and every month we have a moon conjunction with Chiron. So how's that been going for you? And now that all the personal planets have done their conjunction with Chiron, I think that the healing part of the year here is going to becoming easier. And then on the 31st, Mercury Uranus conjunction. So that's genius. That's really important. Then shortly after that, um, Mercury came into Gemini, so then became the ruler of the chart. And then on the 3rd, a Sun Venus conjunction. And on the 4th, Mercury Jupiter conjunction. And on the 6th, Gemini New Moon conjunction. So today is the Sun Venus conjunction. So a very important part of the Venus cycle, and a real integration and education of the feeling function. We've been, Venus has been the evening star for the last 6 months or so, and now it's turning into turning into the evening star, and it's been the morning star. And so it's going from a introverted to an extroverted function. And the key point to that is the Sun Venus conjunction, then the Mercury Jupiter conjunction on the 4th, and the 6th, the Gemini New Moon. That's a lot, so that's going to make this week very busy emotionally, really needing to educate the feeling function. Then we have the Sun Mercury conjunction that comes on the 14th. Then on the 17th, we'll do a video on that, the Mercury Venus conjunction at 0° Cancer. So both Venus and Mercury are coming into Cancer together, followed by the Sun. On the 20th, the summer solstice, the Sun enters Cancer as well. So that's going to be a big shift of energy. And then on the 21st, we have the Capricorn full moon at 1° Cancer Capricorn. So that's our lunar cycle. And lots of important times, the summer solstice, the Mercury Venus conjunction, of course, with the Gemini new moon and the Capricorn full moon. And, so Mars Chiron was big, Mercury Uranus was big, kind of really really quite motivating, but it can be a little bit overwhelming. There's a sense of that there's so much pressure, and we're really tired, and we're really having to do a lot with all of that. So then the emperor, being in control of ourselves, not expecting too much out of the events, but focusing on small successes and gathering our strengths and finishing all the little projects that are nagging us so that we can start the second half of 2024 with a clean slate, because it's going to be quite demanding. So don't try to have big success. Stay humble and conscientious about tying up all the loose ends, and resist the temptation to try to do too much. Which with Jupiter, Mercury, Venus, Sun, and Moon all in Gemini, that tendency would be there. So be like the emperor and have the long view in mind and focus on the little things. It's been fun to be back on the video trail again. Nice to be working with the table. Really appreciate you guys' support. I know through this transition, I've received so many messages from you guys to encourage me. Got lots of love for what I'm trying to do, which is caring for my aging mother as she transitions slowly to the other world. She's 85. And so, but you never know, it could be many years. And so we're getting settled into this beautiful house. And I will be making some videos of where we're living now and this beautiful place, and be adding them to my videos. And so seeking to just show up for the opportunity, also wanting to do some work in French. So stay tuned. So one of the big things also that is really helpful for me is, of course, if you reach out for some dream analysis or some astrological work. So I'm Martin Comtois. My astrology is the Healer and the Dreamer Astrology. I'm a dream analyst and astrologer, and you can reach out at spiritofthetimes108@gmail.com. My work is support this channel, and my work is supported by the readings. And so in this new transitions there, I look forward to hearing from you and working with you. Thanks for your support. We'll catch you on the rebound. Have a wonderful new moon, and may it inspire you to become more truly who you are and who you always have been. All right. Catch you later.